Old man here. Game 6, American League Championship Series 2025. What is this? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is what you call gumption, a clutch performance, and a cut above the rest. The old man is stunned and thrilled, anxious, and filled with nostalgia. And what a game it was for the Blue Jays to demonstrate what they're capable of. I mean, we just go straight to the tape, and the first thing we notice is that Trey Yesavage brought his A game. He really did. I mean, let's have some context here. We're talking about a player who's making his 6th major league start, traversed 5 different levels of the Blue Jays organization, and is now not just their great prospect come to fruition, but something much larger, greater, and more memorable. Truly a feat to behold. Alejandro Kirk, though, is struggling, and initially it looked like the Blue Jays were going to have problems with Gilbert and the Mariners. It just seemed like both teams are trying to find that groove and find that spot where they can finally take advantage of an opportunity. And that's why you leave it to Dalton Varsho, who also left it to the Mariners to play some of the worst defense we've seen in the series. 3 errors, 3 double plays, which will come later. I don't want to spoiler alert you, but there's really bad stuff. And of course, Addison Barger, who had yet another great game and demonstrated his ability as a player to be watched for many years to come. That's going to be the theme here, folks. The Blue Jays just keep getting it done with their collective talent. Falafa, Iser, Kiner, Falafa manages to put the ball in play, and that's what the Blue Jays did and were successful with all night long. Yesavage did his best. He had the defense behind him. He had some unbelievable performances by outfielders and infielders combined. This again was an example of why the Blue Jays are successful and why they're going to be feared should they win and punch their ticket to the World Series. And of course, Ernie Clement, who quietly has become this old man's favorite player, always making contact, always smiling, always looking like your mechanic's grandson who's come to help fix a tire or maybe look at your carburetor. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, Ernie can be my physician too and look at my prostate. I won't have complaints. This is a man who understands how to play baseball. And the Blue Jays just kept the line moving. And when Barger's home run here, it almost like it opened up a statement for the Blue Jays on the day, which is, we will not back down. We will not give up the season in front of over 40,000 fans who made the entire afternoon feel electric. There was buzz in the air. There was camaraderie. There was a sense of community. Even the evening news led off with the baseball game, which is extraordinary. I mean, who talks about baseball when there's famine, war, and genocide? But yes, our imagination is captivated, and the old man loved what he was seeing. And the harder they tried, it seemed like the Mariners were flummoxed. They were flummoxed because they knew they had little hope against a pitcher like Yesavage on a night like this. Ultimately, the frustration built, and throughout the rest of the game, it just seemed like the Mariners really weren't anywhere close. I mean, there was the anxiety, the fear that the old man harbors, that the comeback is in the cards. But not when you have Vladdy Guerrero Jr., a man who solidified himself to legendary proportions, folks. We're talking about 6 postseason home runs. We're talking about the great Jose Bautista in attendance. And the phenom here tied him during the course of a young career. I mean, they've only signed him for what, 1 billion years. You're going to be hearing and seeing a lot of Vlad Guerrero Jr. before the day is over, my friend. Before the decade is over. Oh, the old man probably won't be around. I just realized, old man will be 6 feet under, shuffling the mortal coil, pushing up the daisies. But maybe what will happen is I'll come back as some kind of zombie or something, a baseball zombie. That's what I'll be. Ernie Clement continues to use his bat to all fields, even doing these little cue shots, giving himself a chance to use all fields. It was a spectacular display of hitting for a team that's been doing it from the start of the 2025 season. And boy, they tried. I mean, Naylor just absolutely annihilated this pitch and put a glimmer of hope back in Seattle's non-playoff history hopes. I mean, think about it. They've been around since 1977, and they've never been to the World Series. The old man's cup runneth over, even though he was a spring chicken the last time the Blue Jays won anything seriously. But this team, my friends, this is a serious baseball team. And even though they had to weather the storm of some late moment shenanigans and fears, in the final analysis, they were able to get it done. Not sure why we needed 3 replays of his home run there, but Suarez finally gets on the board after making an ass of himself most of the game with porous defense and bad decisions, and the Blue Jays did what they could to stem the tide. The comeback by the Mariners, there was no comeback. The old man knows that this was all smoke and mirrors for them at this point. Louis Varland comes in without runners on base, which is where Louis Varland should always be coming in, and he gets it done with his 100-mile-an-hour heater. And then, of course, this wild pitch, and then this strange sequence where Calraleigh decides to suspend his baseball imagination completely to the prospect of throwing to get Vlad Guerrero out. It didn't work, and for the Jays, it gave them just the right cushion for Jeff, the great Hoffman, to come in and close the door. Blue Jays win. They get it done. They tie the series. They have 1 game left to try to punch their ticket to the World Series, and the old man knows that it's just a matter of time before they show an entire country what they're truly made of. So stay tuned and subscribe for more Old Man Bleeding Blue.